All right, welcome, Grand Rising. Good day and greetings to you all. You are tuned into the Peak Wellness Hour, and as you can see, I am here solo. I do apologize for being delayed. We had a little change in the schedule today, and some other obligations came up. So here we are again with the Peak Wellness Hour, and this week we are ending February our Matters of the Heart series with the conversation of the intimate and erotic heart, desire, safety, and sacred connection. So, this is a mature, shame free conversation about romantic love, erotic energy, intimacy, and consent. So, we're going to break it down in just a second. I want you all to stay with us. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button, and we will be right back. All right, so here we are. We are back. I am back, and I'll say we because I'm here alone in the virtual space does not mean that Queen Edith is not here in spirit, and she certainly is. You got her in the comments section. I said this last week. We are so busy. We know that you all are busy, but we sincerely appreciate the time that you all spend with us every Saturday. So sometimes things happen, and we just do the best we can. So, blessings to you, Queen. We're going to get started with this conversation. I'm not going to be here very long, but I'll say this. So, we've done the matters of the heart, right, for the month of February. So, we started out with the physical heart. We did that for week 1. The second week, we did the emotional heart. We talked about the relational heart last week with community and family and things like that. And today we're going to talk about the intimate and erotic heart. And again, it's titled Desire, Safety, and Sacred Connection. So most of us were never given a healthy sexual education. And we can all agree, if you all have children or grandchildren in school right now, that is such a touchy topic. I know with my children, my youngest is 20, and my children being in school, even my 26-year-old, they were not teaching sex ed anymore as of the past few years. But we are talking about different conversations in school when sexuality. So that's what I'll say about that. So when it comes to having a healthy sexual education, a lot of us have not had that. And it's not just about sex, but about desire, about safety. Really important is about emotional connection and what it means to experience love in a grounded, embodied way. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to break that silence and have that conversation. And again, I won't be here very long. My Queen Aunt, Queen Gloria Carter, is having her book signing today. So I have to get over there about 1 o'clock and support that. So I'm very excited about that. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit. So let's get started. Oh, thank you, Queen. Thank you. Thank you. I love it. I've got my grandmother's earrings on today. I've never worn them, so I'm trying to. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you. And you know what, Queen? We can break down this conversation again later. We try not to Oh, yes, I will not forget to share the address. I sure will. I'll have all the information for that book signing today. Where is that book? I brought it up here somewhere. I'll find it. Anyway, so we're gonna have this conversation briefly. Just want to give you all some guidelines and some thoughts about these things. Um, and we'll go from there and see where it goes. So I've got a few pointers because I don't like talking to myself, right? So let's go dive into it. Romantic love and erotic energy are often talked about in extremes. So it's either overly sanitized or overly sensationalized. Can we agree with that? Put a one in the chat if you can agree with that. So this conversation is going to be aimed toward bringing the eroticism back to its grounded, humane, life affirming roots. Okay. Here, erotic energy isn't reduced to sex, it's recognized as the spark of vitality, creativity, and connection that lives inside each of us. So, today we're going to talk about how intimacy flourishes not through pressure or performance, but through presence, right? When partners feel safe to express desire, when we're vulnerable enough to be seen, and mature enough to honor each other's boundaries. So again, I know we dived into kind of dating 2 weeks ago, and then we're going to dive into marriage a little bit. But I think it's so important that we discuss what relationships look like when it does come to intimacy. And I say that because last week we talked about the relational heart. We talked about coworkers and colleagues, and we can all agree. I'm sure a lot of us have seen where we put a lot of time into work. We're either at work or at home. And for those that are single and not in relationships, a lot of times you find relationships where you work because that's where you spend a lot of time, and because of the dynamics behind how you connect, intimacy can be kind of different. It might be familiar, it might be awkward, it might whole lot of things. A lot of us are jumping into the dating scene and we are diving into intimacy and sexual expression with the concept that is part of that's the automatic part of the fresh dating process. And I'm here to tell you I would have to disagree with that. Because we have to get to know people. And it's so important that we understand how soul ties work and how mixing with people on a sexual level changes a lot of things when it comes to DNA and makeup and, just intertwining things. Grand Rising, Queen Mother. Got my Queen Mother in the house. Yes, Queen. Yes, yes, yes. The Queen have said she wishes that my king and I were having this conversation. We're going to have a great conversation today. Him and I, and spend some time together. I'm excited to spend time with him. And that is also a part of intimacy. And the erotic part is spending time, is having that connection beyond sex, right? Yes, yes, yes. So even when we're talking about, let me find these notes. When we're talking about erotic energy, let's look at it like this, okay? Again, it's not just about sex. We're talking about that spark of vitality that makes you feel alive, right? Creativity flowing through you, curiosity and playfulness, connection that awakens your senses, right? So all of these things don't have to involve sex. That could mean, hey, creativity. Okay, let's talk about creativity flowing through you. If your relationship is stagnant, it's same old, same old. You go to work, you come home. How was your day? Day was fine. You eat, you go to bed. How about we plan a date night? Right? That builds up that erotic energy. Let's plan a date night. Not just going out to eat. Let's go, let's do it. What's it called? Wine and sip. Or not sip and paint, excuse me. Let's do a sip and paint. Go to a wine vineyard, do some painting. I've never painted before. So what? Let's get creative. Spend time sitting looking at one another. If you have a partner, how long can you sit and look at your partner? and not say anything, but think about things about your partner, about your relationship that make you smile. And all you can do is express that smile and express that countenance of joy in your face. Curiosity and playfulness. I know there are plenty of ways to. I know my queen on Gloria Gloria Carter. She is so fun. She is the queen of games. I'm telling you all now, she's the queen of games. And anytime we have any kind of function, she's got a game for you. There are erotic play games that are tasteful, that are not raunchy. They've got some raunchy ones too, for all of you that like that. But there are games where you can get to know your partner, ask questions, just dive deeper. So that is a great way to think about erotic intimacy. Okay. Think about think of a time you felt deeply alive. Maybe it was dancing, laughing uncontrollably, writing something in a journal, writing a love note to your partner, just being fully present with someone you love. That's erotic energy, in its purest form. Okay. So again, it's not just about performance. It's certainly about presence. Okay. So if you all want to answer that in the chat, if you don't, that's fine. It's okay. Give us a thumbs up though. But ask yourself, when is the last time I felt creative or emotionally alive? And did I allow myself to enjoy that feeling? Sometimes we're so busy and consumed in work life and responsibilities when it comes to our partners. We're having date night, but now, oh my gosh, I got to go out. I still got this to do. I still got that to do. And now I've got to go out for date night, and now we don't enjoy ourselves. And we can ruin a good time for ourselves just by not being present, right? Let me look through some of these comments. Grand Rising, Queen Kathy B. How are you, Queen? Queen Kathy B with the United Empires of Akibalan. You all check us out. And speaking of the UEOA, I wanted to share with you. I love date night. I love date night. I love date day. That's my thing, Queen Kathy, because I be in bed early. So I'm working on that, y'all, being more present and being more awake. So I do love day dating. Absolutely. That is a great idea. I wanted to say this. I wanted to mention this too. Since I mentioned Queen Kathy B with the United Empires of Akibalan, I wanted to mention to you all, I don't know if you all noticed the thumbnail, but I did this intentionally because we are at the end of Black History Month as it relates to how most people celebrate. I will say that Black history is American history, and it is to be celebrated every day, every month, right? But I wanted to show this image when it comes to love and safety and desire and connection, because I do think it's important that we realize, and that this platform is for everyone that is open to learn and grow and network. But I do understand that our platform is mainly people that look like me, right? Let me get this off the screen. And I wanted to show you all that because Black love is real. It is pure, it is true, and it is worth celebrating. And I did that where we have some younger individuals, we have some older couples, because it doesn't end. Black love is to be celebrated. So just wanted to mention that. Let's read some of these comments. We have made intimacy about sex. There is so much more to intimacy. It is communication and conversation, effective listening, effective communication, where it involves you speaking your truth, being comfortable and vulnerable doing that, as well as listening, is so important. It's so important. Yes, it is human history. Yeah, love it. Love it. And I hope you all love yourselves as Black individuals, as melanated individuals. I'll say it like that. Yes, I love it. 31 years. 31 years. I'm trying to get to 20, y'all. I love it. And you know what? Understanding intimacy and being free even as we get older, as we mature, understanding that is still an important part of keeping your relationship alive is so important. No matter how long you've been married, you should always want it to stay fresh. So do fresh things, right? Do new things. Okay. let's talk about intimacy. Hang on. Versus intensity. So this is understanding the difference between emotional closeness and emotional chaos. Why intensity can feel exciting, but often masks insecurity, fear, and unmet needs. And then you've got true intimacy. We're going to talk about what that feels like or what that looks like. Okay. Hang on just a second. I want to repeat that. So with intensity, it can feel exciting, right? But often masks insecurity, fear, and unmet needs. So what's happening when we're in relationships and we are engaging in things, even in marriages, that are not understood or maybe uncomfortable for us, especially with young couples, people that are, younger people that are in relationships. There are a lot of weird, kinky things going on. And I think when it comes to things like the push of pornography, the lack of sexual education, the lack of healthy conversations when it comes to sex and intimacy, there is a misconception about the behavior that goes along with sexual engagement sometimes. And I'm not judging what anybody does in their bedroom. You do what you do. But just be clear about what those things are and what you do and do not want. It's so important for us to not feel pressured in relationships, again, even in marriages. Okay. For anybody that's ever seen the movie, What's Love Got to Do with It? There was allegations that Tina Turner made claims with Ike about sexual force. We'll say it like that. Okay. This is a married couple. Now, I'll say allegedly because I was not there. This is what the movie depicted, and y'all know how Hollywood be doing. So that was the alleged. They're married, but there still has to be consent, right? That aggressiveness. When you're dealing with aggressive, in life, that aggression can spill over into the bedroom. So having those conversations about what that looks like is very important. Okay. Intimacy is the high, the chase, the drama, the chemistry spike, the emotional roller coaster. Okay. Some of us know about angry sex. I'm angry, I'm mad at you. I don't want to talk to you, but I'll have angry sex with you, to prove a point. These are toxic behaviors. When it talks about chemistry spike, that high and low, where you look attractive, but you're crazy on the inside. And we know you're crazy, but he's so good looking, but she's so sexy. Those endorphins that get you kind of out of whack sometimes. Okay. Where intimacy is the steady flame. Okay. The steady flame, like Queen Kathy just said, as far as being married for, 31 years. Okay. The steady flame, the safety, the trust. Here's one, the emotional presence and the sense of being deeply seen. In a real healthy relationship, you want emotional presence over the physical pleasure in a healthy relationship. If the sex is good, but the conversation is trash, the communication is garbage, you're running off of intensity. Okay. You can have incredible intensity with someone you barely know. You can have quiet, slow intimacy with someone who you genuinely care about and who cares for you. That's the difference. So what are we looking for when we're dealing with relationships? Whether they're new relationships or seasoned relationships. What are we looking for? Intensity says, I can't stop thinking about you. Intimacy says, I feel safe with you. You got people that can't stop thinking about people that are toxic in their lives. But is there safety? Queen Eve said when What if some people believe that you consented when you agreed to marry a person? What would you say? When marriage is a partnership, is what I would say. So if I consent to being your partner, that looks like a whole lot of different things. I consent to trusting you to take care of me and vice versa. I consent to share my body with you and vice versa. I consent to go the long run, to death do us part, whatever that is. But in this moment, this is what I don't want in this moment. I don't want to be intimate. No means no. No will always mean no in any situation. No will always mean no. Okay. And if we are not saying yes, then make sure it's not a no. And I definitely say that to individuals that are not married, that are not in secure relationships, and that are out making choices that have consequences. Okay. If you're not saying no, do not leave those things up for interpretation. Okay. Where are we at? Intensity. Intensity burns fast. Intimacy builds warmth. That makes sense, yes. Okay. So you have to ask yourself, and anybody that wants to respond in the comment section, you're more than welcome to. The question is, do I mistake emotional drama or high chemistry for real closeness? Girl, you know I love you. You know I'd do anything for you. Babe, you know I didn't mean it. Closeness means saying sorry when you need to, apologizing when you need to, but not always being sorry. Not always having to be sorry, if that makes any sense. Okay. Let's see. I love the intent. Yes. Yeah. Queen, you're talking about as far as what Queen Em said. Queen Caddy says, "No, I know the difference." Is that what you're referring to, Queen? I'll wait for a second. So moving on, like I said, I'm sorry, yeah, I'm getting through this so I can get to my Queen Aunt's thing, her book signing. So moving on to the next topic is safety, trust, and consent. Okay. Safety, trust, and consent. How emotional safety is created. So we're going to talk about why consent is a continuous practice, which is what I just said, right? And how presence, not performance, builds real desire over time. Okay. So with this, healthy romantic connection is built on safety, trust, consent, and presence. And there goes that word presence again. You have to be present in these relationships that we're in. That's why it's anyone that can really juggle 2 whole relationships, 2 full-time, 2, 3, 4, 5 relationships. I don't know how you do it. You got to say it's not a healthy relationship, right? So these are not check boxes. They're ongoing practices. The safety, the trust, the consent, the presence. It's ongoing. Do I trust my husband? Yes. Do I feel safe? Yes. Do I consent? Yes. Am I present? Yes. It's not a checkbox, because right now I'm present. Am I present consistently? Do I feel safe consistently? Does he trust me consistently? Okay. Safety means I can express myself without fear. I don't have to hide my needs. Boundaries will be well respected. Okay. I joked last week about my husband. I argue, and I say, we argue all the time about, him trying to do for me, him trying to help me, him, being a great man, and I joked about the arguing thing. It's not really an argument. But with this, do I have to hide my needs? So I feel safe with my husband, but the behavior may say otherwise. It's like I said last week, when we say I love you, does the behavior show that? Do people feel safe in you saying that and receiving that? Okay. Give me a second. Let me see if there's any comments. Consent is continuous practice. Yes, 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 yes. It is. It certainly is. Messes with too many relationships. It's crazy. It is craziness. I've seen these things where these true stories. You've seen the Lifetime movies where this man has this whole separate family in a whole nother city. I don't know how you do it, but it happens, and there's something wrong with you on that point. And I'll leave it there. There's something wrong, people. So consent. Consent means not just saying yes or no, but are we both still here? Do you feel comfortable? Does this feel good for you emotionally, not just physically? That's what I was talking about, that angry makeup set, or not angry makeup set, but angry sex. Does it feel good emotionally and not just physically? A lot of us are in relationships, sexual relationships, and we still feel broken, alone, misunderstood, misheard, unsafe. But we remain in these physical situationships. Is that the new word? That's the new hip word, situationships, whatever that means, right? So let's talk about presence. Presence means you're not somewhere else in your mind. That's what I was saying. Date night, we're having date day, date night, and I'm so busy. Got to do this, got to do that. Now I've got to stop and have date night. I'm thinking about what I have going on. I still got to do. Okay, where are you at in your mind? Okay, when you're present, you're not performing. Oh yeah, oh kiki, yeah, and not really hearing and listening. You're not trying to prove anything when you're present. You're just in the moment. You're here. You see the X's at the mall. You are here with the big map. You're just in the moment. Be in the moment, and you'll find that you not only find your partner deeper, a little deeper, but you find yourself a little deeper when you're in the moment. Your partner, my husband might have said something over and over again. We talked about this over and over again. And in the moment right now, he said that before, but you know what? That just dawned on me. Wow. A partner asking, do you like this? Or tell me what you want, is practicing erotic presence and not insecurity, right? A lot of times we think that because we're in relationships, our partner knows what we want and what we don't want. And then we get upset because our needs aren't met. And we assume that someone is supposed to know what we're thinking, how we feel, even after 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. And that's not always the case. Okay. And a lot of times when we cannot be open for conversation and growth together, we can leave our partners feeling like they don't want to ask questions because we don't want to be open and share and grow together. Again, it's a partnership, right? So desire deepens where people feel safe enough to be honest. So here's the question here. Do I feel safe expressing desire in my relationships? That's the question. Do I feel safe? Do I feel like I'm not going to be judged? Do I feel like I'm not going to be overlooked? Do I feel like I'm not going to be dismissed? Do I feel like I'm not going to be supported? And sometimes when we're expressing ourselves, we have to understand that our partner doesn't have to receive things the way we expect them to. I'm so emotional about this thing. This thing happened to me, and babe, you just don't understand. You don't get it. This is what's going on. You don't get it. And my king is like, okay, babe, well, let me know if I can do anything. What do you mean? What do you mean? This is where I am. And now he's not he's not dramatic and chaotic like I am. He's not meeting me on my level. So now I don't feel like I'm being hurt. He doesn't get it. He doesn't understand. No, maybe it's just not that important to somebody else on the same level. And we have to be okay with that. We have to be okay with that. We have to be all right with, even in partnership, figuring some things out on your own when you're coming back together. Okay? Feeling safe comes with consistency and support. Yes, absolutely it does. It absolutely does. Okay. Fourth one, and we're almost done, you all. Got a couple more. Fourth one is healing sexual shame. Okay. Healing sexual shame. And this coincides with the lack of not just only sexual education, but sexual conversation that we have, and that we understand, even when we're younger, in an appropriate manner. Okay. So many people carry shame around desire or sexuality. Shame from culture, religion, childhood silence, or unhealthy past relationships. Many of us can identify with at least one of these things. Somewhere in life when it comes to our sexuality. Okay. Culture, religion, childhood silence, unhealthy past relationships. It seems like it's a cliche and it's a norm now, where this body count thing is a conversation. Yeah, I'm 43, okay? And so I don't feel like I'm too seasoned, but I'm seasoned enough with some of these terminologies. When I first heard body count, I thought we were talking about taking people's lives. Okay? That's what a body count meant to me growing up. Like you in the streets taking lives. Okay? Now we're talking about sexual partners. Okay? And if we're not careful in some of those conversations, Grand Rising Queen Tina Berry with Straight No Chaser with the Queen, again with UEOA, United Empires of a Cuba Line, Grand Rising Queen. Why are you laughing, Queen? I did think that. I didn't know, okay? I didn't know. But because it's such a great, and I say that because of the body count, the conversation is so relaxed. What's under your body count? 10, 20, 30, 40, 100. I'm like, 100? I don't know 100 people right now. At 20 some years old, if you got a body count of 100, who do you know? Where have you been? So I think it's so important when we think about these things. Yeah. Yes, Queen. Yes. I know, right? It's so crazy. Yeah, that is what's happening. We old school. Yeah, of course I thought that. Of course. Absolutely. So Grand Rising, Queen Joyce, Grand Rising. Be safe driving. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, when we think about those things, it's so normal anymore. And it's sad. And I thought about this, and it's funny because Queen Tina Berry and Queen Kathy B are here, and we have these conversations on our broadcast, and I miss being on there. I'm gonna have to get with you. I miss that. But when we talk about these folks in these streets, it just seems the norm to just be the most ridiculous anymore. And I thought to myself, and ladies, this is what I was thinking. Some of these female rappers, some of these female entertainers that are a little on the raunchy side, I'd like to see 10, 20, 30 years from now, when you have children, when you have grandchildren, how you explain the culture that is the sexual deviancy that we're seeing today. Okay. It blows my mind. I'm not going to have a conversation on this platform, but there are certain people that have written books, that have outed people, that have been named such names based off of their sexual experience that have been publicized. And I wondered to myself, now that you have children and grandchildren, is that how you still want to be referred to? As somebody that went through that, somebody that has a bunch of people run through you, you know? Again, this is a mature adult conversation that we're having today. I mean, we'll keep it respectful, yes, but I had to say that. So back to my little notes, just had to say that. Sexual shame often sounds like, I shouldn't want this. Something is wrong with me. I don't know how to talk about what I need. Good people don't think about sex like this. These are human desires. These are normal things. And the problem is not the desire. The problem is the silence and the shame of it. Okay. And we're talking about adults. We're not talking about adults that do inappropriate things with people that are not adults. Okay. We're talking about adults that have full capability of making their needs known, making their voices heard, and having choices. Okay. So if you're doing things that you don't think are appropriate, just remember that that is your shame that you have to carry until you heal from that shame. You know, Queenie talks about her, and we've not seen Bree on for a while, but they are partners in the therapy field, the counseling field when it comes to addiction, right? Let's keep it real. We're in Indianapolis. I don't travel a lot, but I will soon, so y'all stay tuned. But here it's, you have places, you have areas. We used to have areas where you knew where prostitution was going on and those kind of things. And a lot of those things were tied in with addiction and substance use. And anymore now, you see it everywhere. When we're talking about something is wrong with me, if you like things, if you like what you like, then you like what you like. Okay. All because you in the church don't mean you names. Okay. God bless you. Stay safe. Okay. Let's just keep it real. We have to be real with what's going on. If we think that, yeah, if we're thinking that this is the same old Leave It to Beaver kind of, Andy Griffith, two twin beds apart from each other kind of thing anymore, it's not. And not having these conversations and being real with that and being embarrassed about our sexuality doesn't help the matter. Okay, Queen is like, we sitting around the coffee table talking right now. I love it. I love it. Says, well, Queen, they're not being raised with morals. You're right. Anyway, these days, so they don't look to explain it, just continues to get worse. So they're not looking to explain to their grandchildren. You are so right. You're so right. And like I said, there's age appropriate conversations that we have to have with our youth, because somebody is. If we're not, somebody is. Okay. The television, the commercials, these conversations are being had. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, Queen Kathy B says social media is raising our children. You know, where are we at where we're, our the Instagram models? I'm an 80s baby. Modeling was not my thing, but I know some people. Do you know how hard it is to get into modeling? No, all you have to do is show a lot of skin. You know, say little words. I don't want to hear what you got to say. And now you're the Instagram model. Now you're the it thing. Hold on just a second. My king's come through. Yes. Oh, wonderful. My king has told me he's getting his car washed. Thank you so much for being present, my king, and letting me know I love you and I will miss you. He's so adorable. He's so cute. He's going to his little cute jogging suit. Come back now. Uh, he's going to get his car washed. So yeah, that's and these are children. These are Instagram models. These are children. Yes, I know. I love my king. I love him so much. He couldn't come up here and get on this camera with me though, could he? No, I'm just joking. Yes, it is a shame. It is a shame. So when we're looking at this is who's raising our children, and it's sad because we look at what's going on in the media now, and a lot of these young ladies don't look like young ladies. A lot of them look a little more mature than I do in the body area. Can you follow what I'm saying? So it's so important that we are protecting our children and having those conversations. And even as adults that have gone through things in our childhood, being able to heal from that shame, having those conversations, and not letting those things interfere with our adult relationships that we are choosing to engage in. Okay. If we're not healed from shameful things, including abuse, we carry those things on into our relationships that we choose as adults. And then we wonder why we don't have healthy relationships, because that trauma and that pain is a part of every relationship we have. And we don't talk about that. And now it's normalized. Okay. So the second part of that is how healing begins. 4 things. Naming your feelings. I feel angry about this thing. I feel uncomfortable with this level of engagement, sexual engagement with my spouse, because this thing happened. I feel insecure about my body because of, see what I'm saying? Name those things. Relearning your body. As we get older, okay, as we get older, some things change, don't they? Doesn't the body change? Things aren't as tight and firm, and relearn your body. Find the sexiness in your body. Find the beauty in your body. Find things that work for you as we get older. I believe we talked about menopause on this broadcast, right? As let's just keep it real, as we're getting older, things change, hormones change, things are depleted. Figure out different things that work for you without being shameful about those things and having those conversations. Can we have a mature conversation? Can we talk real right now for just a second as adults? Okay. If we, as women, we're getting older, got the premenopause, menopause, postmenopause, whatever's going on, life. If you need lubricant to help fix you out there, then do that. And don't be embarrassed about it. You're just going to be tearing up stuff if you don't. It's going to cause self-injury if you don't. Can I keep it real? Okay. Our men are getting older. That little blue pill, whatever color it wants to come in. Life is happening. There's no shame in that. And you have to think about this, especially if you're in a marriage, is the longer you've been together, things start sagging and delaying and whatever. You've gone through it together in a healthy relationship, right? So my husband was just as sexy as when I met him 20 years ago. He thinks I'm just as young. Lies. I'm still younger than him, but just not as young, but he sees that. So we get to mature with our bodies together. Okay. That's what's happening. Okay. Talking honestly with a partner. Again, not going to sneak the lube and throwing away the darn receipt, hide how you reaching for someone in the mattress and he like what you doing and you like nothing, look away. And there's nothing to see behind the curtain, Wizard of Oz, right? Have the conversation. Hey, babe, I think I'm going through premenopause. I think I'm going through menopause. I think my hormones are off. I'm attracted to you. Don't want you to think I'm not. So this is what we need. Hey, babe, it's not I'm not attracted to you anymore. Not that this thing don't work, but this little blue pill. And I'm not giving these examples like this is what's going on in my home. I'm just giving you all examples. So don't y'all think I'm sitting here sharing my life with y'all like I'm having issues over here, because it's not. If it is, it's okay, right? It's okay because it's all a part of life. And then unlearning the idea that pleasure is dangerous or selfish. Can we talk about that for just a second? I'm going to say it again. Unlearning the idea that pleasure is dangerous or selfish. That includes self-love. Okay? Okay? Sometimes, I'm just going to keep it real. This might not be none of y'all. Sometimes you just want to woo-saw, right? And you don't need all the extra. Sometimes you don't. You worked all day, you done cooked, you done cleaned, whatever, the kids, this, whatever, life that. Sometimes you just want to get in bed and just be like, is he asleep yet? Did she doze off yet? So we're going to have a quick moment without all the lovey-dovey touchy, all this 30-minute, 45-minute, 60-minute. I just need 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. There is nothing wrong with saying that, especially if you're frustrated and you're causing frustration to other people, especially in your relationship. Get it together. Right? Spend some time with yourself. So I'll say that, I'll leave that there. Okay. So someone might feel embarrassed to initiate intimacy because they are raised to believe desire is dirty. Healing looks like saying, I want closeness, and that doesn't make me a bad person. Okay. Shame dissolves in safe relationships where curiosity replaces judgment. I'm going to put that in the comments. I'm going to hang on just a second. I like that. Thank you, Queen. I like that. I like that. Let's put that in there. See, I can see that again. There we go. Shame dissolves in safe relationships where curiosity replaces judgment. I'm going to say this too. Okay. Well, no, let me read this first. Where did my here's the question. Okay. Question for a segment. Where did my beliefs about sex, desire, or my own body come from? And are they truly mine? And I'm saying that because a lot of us have this unrealistic concept about sex. And you don't have to necessarily go onto any .com porn sites or pick up any magazines. Do they still have nudie magazines? I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure it works for somebody old school. But there is so much pornography and sexual deviancy being displayed everywhere we go, from billboards to commercials to cartoons anymore. Okay. Where let's not normalize the things that we see in these situations. I hate that. I hate watching shows and they're like, all this smooching and throwing things off the desk and making a mess. Who gonna clean that stuff up? Let's be sensible now. Who gonna clean that up? It don't take all that. All these things that you can do this and you can do that. Let's be realistic. Let's not allow, again, social media and sexually deviant marketing encourage us as to how we are to behave in an appropriate, healthy, respectful manner in relationships. Okay. And then this last part, let's get this. We're almost done. I didn't think it was going to take me an hour, but it did. The last part, healthy embodied mutual love. Okay. Healthy embodied mutual love. Love becomes sacred when it is embodied, respectful. We talk about respect on this platform all the time. Mutual. If you are in any kind of relationship, this thing has to be mutual. Okay. If there's a disagreement, if there's a imbalance, it needs to be corrected because it causes other issues. Okay. Love becomes sacred when it is honest. Okay. Sometimes honesty is hard. Sometimes vulnerability is difficult, right? But it'll save you a lot of heartache and a lot of chaos in the end. I promise you that. Love becomes sacred when it is curious. We've been married for 20 years. What can we do different? What can we try that we've never tried before? You know, what does it say? You got to do something different if you want to see something different. Right? If your relationship is stagnant, try something different. You know, try some what is the body gels and the costumes, and go wild west on it. You got the body paint and stuff. Try that. Try that. Horseback ride, try it. Go do a couples massage. Go ahead and get butt naked in a pool of mud in somebody's spa. Try something different. And then, most importantly, love becomes sacred when it is consensual. Healthy love is not self-sacrifice. Healthy love is not control. Okay? I honor my husband, honor my king, and he certainly does the same with me. We have to, we got to be fair. We cannot control anybody in any relationship. My husband does not control me, and sometimes I need to be controlled, and that is something I yield to. When I get out of sorts, I expect my husband to correct me in love, and vice versa. Okay, but it's not control. It's accountability. Okay. Healthy love is not performance. You can't fake it to make it in a healthy, real relationship. It's not performance. It's process. Healthy love says, I want you and I respect you. See, wanting somebody and needing somebody are two different things. If I need to be with my husband because I need my bills paid, I need this, I need that, doesn't mean I want you. And if I need you and I don't want you, I don't respect you. Can I get a 1 in the chat if you understand that? Okay. Healthy love says your boundaries matter to me. So again, back to early conversation with consent. If no is no, for whatever reason, those boundaries matter. Okay. Healthy love says your pleasure, your comfort, and your heart, they're important to me. Healthy passion looks like emotional presence, not pressure. It looks like desire expressed clearly and not hinted at. Healthy passion looks like affection that is mutual, never one-sided. Healthy passion looks like erotic connection that enhances safety, not replaces it. Okay. Instead of assuming what your partner wants, a healthy couple says, tell me what you want. Let's explore this together. If your partner says no, they ain't comfortable with it, then that's what it is. Everybody don't like being choked. Everybody don't like being whipped. Everybody don't like that weird stuff. That's not what they like. They don't respect that. And if you're in a healthy relationship, respect it enough and respect those boundaries and have that love enough to say, this is this thing I like, but you don't like it. But that's okay. Then it's off the table. It's not, if you don't like it, I'll go somewhere else. If you don't like it, it's off the table. We'll explore something else. Okay. Love is not just felt, it is practiced. Okay. So that is all that I have today. And thank you for all the ones. I see the ones. I see the ones. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. That is all I have today. I wanted to break that down for a second. I didn't think it was going to take me an hour, but it did. So I enjoyed this conversation. Queen Edith, you know I missed you. But we are going to be back in March. I will tell you all this, the Peak Wellness Hour website. The link is in the description. If you're on YouTube, if you hit that more link under the title, if you hit more to see whatever else is down there, that link is there. I am not done with it. I'm not done with it. I do have the book club information up there. I'm about to put this in the chat. Here is the link. Oh, thank you, Queen Mother. It is my pleasure. It's my pleasure to hang out with you all. We love hanging out with you all. We really do. Hang on just a second. We enjoy doing this. And y'all know I'll be trying to swing it when I don't have my partner here with me. But it's okay. We've been busy. We got some great things going on. And so I'm so excited. So excited. So yes, peakwellnesshour.com. It's not it's just peakwellnesshour.com. I've got our Meet the Host thing on there. I'll tell you, if you go to Meet the Host, if you click on the name, it'll bring up the picture, but then you have to click it again and it'll give you the bio. I've got to figure out how to fix that. But we got that up. We've got the book club book up. So if you all go over there, it's telling you to sign up for the book club. I've got to add the link for Zoom. So what we're going to do is, I believe this Tuesday, we're going to launch it, and Queen Edith and I will be on Facebook and YouTube this Tuesday talking about the book Atomic Habits. Hang on just a second. There we go. I believe that link is in the description too, if you guys want to grab that book, or you can scan the QR code here, but the link is in the description for you on YouTube and Facebook. So you can get that. We're going to start this week. We're going to start tomorrow. We're going to start reading. So every Tuesday, we're going to dive in to the chapters. And so we're just going to do the first chapter this week. We're going to start reading this week. Yeah, we'll figure it out. You all will see us on Tuesday evening, I believe, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and Facebook talking about this first chapter. Just giving everybody some time to get the book. So on the website, you can click on sign up. I'm going to try to get that done today. I do have a lot of stuff that I have to do for the United Empires of a Keep Line website. And that's partly why I haven't finished this one too, because I've got so much to do. And that was on my list. And I try to do things in order, but everything's important. So I do apologize, family, UEOA family, because that is very important to me. And I do want to share more about what we have going on and advertise that on this broadcast respectfully. So I want to make sure we have that in tip-top shape. But as for the Peak Wellness Hour page, website, go on over there and look at that. Sign up for the mailing list for email, and we can get this information out to you guys. And I'll have the schedule done for the book the order of chapters we're going to be reading. So we're going to do this, the first chapter. We're going to talk about it this Tuesday. Next week, we will do chapters 2 and 3. And then thank you. And then we'll go in and we'll do 3 chapters a week. So we just want to ease everybody into it. So if you haven't got your book, get your book. If you need help with that, let us know. And then you can get on Amazon. You can order today. I think it's like $18 for the book. And if you order today, they'll deliver it today. I did see that earlier. So that is in the description. So yes, email us at peakwellnesshour@gmail.com if you need some help with that. Let me see. We're almost done. We're almost out of here. I got some t-shirts to finish up. I told my queen I was going to do something for her. So I've got to finish that. I've got to do some t-shirts. So there's our website. If you need some help with that book, let us know. And that will be confidential. We do appreciate you all as family. So we help where we can. And so if you need that book, you need some help purchasing that book and want to be a part of the book club, then let us know. And we'll be excited to do that. Last but not least, if you are in the Indianapolis area today, my queen aunt has her book signing. The Glory Carrier is that book. Where is my copy of the book? I thought I brought it up here. It wasn't attached. I just don't know what I would do with my life. I brought it up. Oh, here it is. Crazy. Okay, so it's not a big book, but it's got some journaling in there for you. She's got scriptures in here, so I'm going to go and support. I'm so excited for her. So there's that QR code, the address. Let me put this up so I don't see my face. Hang on. Nope, that's the one I want. Okay. The address, I'm going to put it in the description. We're going to get out of here because it's really small. You can't read it. 1660. Yeah, you think I put my glasses on so I can actually see instead of hiding when I don't have makeup on in here, right? Put a 1 in the chat if you enjoyed this conversation. Again, I miss my partner, but it's all right. We're gonna be back on it next week together. Why has it got to be spam? Thank you, Queen Kathy B. Okay, they do not want me to put this address up here. That's funny. Let me try it again. The address. It's saying that it looks like spam. They be getting me. I don't know how it'd be spam. It's a darn address. Let's try that. Oh my goodness, you guys. Okay, here we go. I spelled Indianapolis wrong, but geez Louise, they're not letting me put it up and saying it looks like spam. So Indianapolis is spelled wrong, but that is Indianapolis, Indiana. So there's the address for that. If you are interested, it's from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. She's got some books on hand. She's going to be book signing, and she is so fun. If you all do not know Gloria M. Carter, she is just fun-loving. So you guys come out. She's got food, fun, and fellowship. I'm sure she's going to have games. So come on out and support that today. And then again, if you have not got your copy of that book and you'd like to get that book, if you scan the QR code on the screen, you will be able to purchase that. So that is all I have. I've had a great time with you all today. And I'm glad we had this conversation. I won't say I didn't think I could do it myself, but again, I do like hanging out with Queen Edith. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you for being a part of our Peak Wellness Hour family. You all stay tuned. We're going to be doing some blogs on the webpage. I do have the videos on the webpage. I want to be able to get you guys all in one place where you're not having to look for different things on, Facebook and YouTube. And so that website will be a place where we can put all our important information. Again, I will put the before Tuesday, I will put the link up for the book club and having that conversation. We'll have the schedule out, and we'll have upcoming things. And now we did talk about doing a watch party last week, so we're going to do the watch party. We're going to put all the information up on the website. So if you all don't want to be playing on social media, that is a way to get the information. So just check that out. And yes, we will take some pictures today. Absolutely, absolutely. And we'll put those on our pages too. So yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, you all, for joining. Please give us a thumbs up. Please share this on your platforms. We have safe, healthy conversations here, and we try to reach everyone holistically in the best way we can. So we will never come to you with anything that you can't share on your pages, So please feel free to share these on your Facebook pages. Invite someone to join us. We're here every Saturday around 10. Y'all know how it is around 10. So no later than 10:30. So but we're here, and if you don't catch us, you can always catch the replay. So again, check out that Peak Wellness Hour page. Give me about another week with that, and the UEOA page, United Empires of Acubalon page, and my Clearest Conscience page. Yeah, I'm so behind, but it's okay. We're moving forward. We're heading into March tomorrow. Queen Kathy B, I hope we can have you on this March. Queen Tina, to talk about just flourishing and growing. Y'all know I've been talking about them growing their own foods and produce and all this stuff, just buying land, all kinds of empowering things without interfering in what the UEO has going on and sharing too much. We want to be able to build everyone up. So just share some of the information. I would love to have you guys on. So until next time, we do wish you peace, love, and blessings. We will be back again next month, next Saturday, next month. Until then, peace, love, and blessings. Take care.